So we've got some functions in Inkpot here. Well, I've got one here which is print some string to the screen and another one called exit game. And so the first one, you can see that it does indeed print some string to the screen. If I restart, then if I click close game, Inkpot will tell Unreal to close, depending on the choices that you made in the script, right? So because I've got the choice here, close game, and then I've got the command to exit the game. So today we're going to learn how to basically do that. You can put whatever Unreal Engine code you want to in here. Inkpot will just run this whenever it meets certain things in the script. To start though, I'll first sort of explain how to write functions. So as normal, you would declare your function up the top and what it does. But because Unreal Engine is handling what it does, you just basically say external. The only thing you need to do is specify the name and any parameters it might take in. So for me, we've got text, how long we want it to display for, and a boolean, which might be whether or not we want to print it to log. Like if I go print string here, we got our duration, the string, and whether or not we want to print it to the log. So that's how you declare a function. You can call this whatever you want. I'm just putting an S in front of this to help me, I guess, remember that it's a string and that it's a float. To specify string, quotation marks, a float, a boolean. Boolean needs to be lowercase, like true is going to throw an error. You can put these functions under the choices that you want and, you know, have all the logic that you would normally have with the script. Once you've done that, save it and import it. Okay, so the first step to doing this is to get the Inkpot story. You've got bind and you've got unbind external functions. If you call a function while it is unbound, Unreal Engine, for me at least, will crash. So yeah, to start off with our story, we can go bind external function. And in here is the function name. This needs to match exactly what you've put in your script. Copy the name of the function and I paste that straight in there. It needs to be exactly the same. It's non-case sensitive, so we can have it like this and it will still work fine. So don't worry about it being case sensitive. Let's link this up to something so that we can get it to run. I'm going to go back up to the top here and I'm going to add a custom event and we're going to call this setup functions. And so we're going to call setup functions just after binding the Inkpot events and before we refresh the choices. So we're going to drag this one down here, link that onto there. Save, compile. Now, if I was to drag an event out and go custom event and then try and compile this, you'll notice there's an error immediately, and I haven't even done anything yet. To solve this, we'll have, because we want to use functions, right? It needs to be a function. We go event dispatches and then create an event this way. And this is going to give you some weird looking node. Select a function and go create a matching function. And this is going to create one with all of the parameters. This is the parameters here. It's just going to give you this as a list. This one being the 0th item, the first item, and the second item, if that makes sense. Like if I go get a copy, the 0th item, the first item, and the second item. They come out as Inkpot values. Unreal doesn't know if this is a boolean, a string, or what, so we need to convert it to a boolean, a string, or whatever it is. In my case, I'm setting it up so that the first one's a string, the second one is a float, and the third one's a boolean. So as float, and then as boolean. Oh, when you create the function, it's going to give it a weird name, like WB main autogen function. You can rename this to whatever you want. I'm just going to go print. No, I'm going to call it Inkpot function print string. So now that we have that, we're going to print a string, and it's going to be in the string, and I'm going to expand this, and this is the duration, and whether or not we want to print it to log. We can see that we have Inkpot function print string, and that should all be set up for the print string function. For this next one, that we've got in here, which is just to close the game, for example, we're just going to duplicate all of this, make sure that this is got the correct name, exit game. If you get this name wrong, then it's likely to crash Unreal Engine. So make sure you have everything saved before you test. But yeah, so once we've got that, we can create another matching function, and we can just call quit game as the node to actually quit the Unreal Engine game. So now if we go back to our event graph, or we can rename this one to Inkpot function quit game. If we click play, we can pick choices that won't do anything. We can pick choices that will print whatever we stick in the function. So if I was to go over here and I was to change this to like 5 seconds, save it, wait for Unreal Engine to re-import it, and then try again, you can see that now it's going to display for slightly longer, easy peasy. And then there's the last one, which is closing the game, which is going to do exactly what it says.